Welcome back to another episode of Free Game. I am Dion. We're back, episode 30. Um, Quite a few things to get into today, but before we do that, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share it around with your friends, trying to grow. Trying to stay consistent as I can before me and my wife welcome our second child. So anybody that is a parent knows that you have no time to yourself when it's newborn. So trying to get all this shit out here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to donate, the Cash App is up there. I greatly appreciate it. So let's start off with some boxing. Over the last weekend, a big fighter was fighting in Gervonta Tank Davis, and he fought Lamont Roach in a controversial draw, some people would say. So we'll get into it. In the 9th round, Tank took a knee. Okay. In boxing rules, I want everybody to understand this. Now, you can go back and you can say his braid hit his eye, and that's why he took a knee to wipe it off. He got hit, and then like 4 seconds later, he took a knee. All that's fine and dandy. And I think the ref was Steve Willis. Like, Steve is a legend ref. So this really surprised me. I didn't watch the fight because honestly, I didn't think it was going to even be a good fight. I thought Tank was going to do what he does best, walk him down 7-8 rounds, and then, 9 through 12, put the pressure on him and get him out of there. But, shout out to Roach, man. Roach is a solid fighter, and he built his stock up. And, hopefully the rematch happens. But back to the knee, that's a knockdown. By the rule, if you take a knee and you get hit prior to taking a knee, which he did, that's a knockdown. Roach should have won the fight. Okay? I don't know if they're going to appeal it. I don't know if they're going to investigate whether or not you can take back a loss or you just wipe it clean and stuff like that. I don't know what they're going to do. But I've watched boxing my whole life. I'm a huge fan of the sport. That is a 10-8 round. By definition of boxing rules, if you take a knee, that's a knockdown. Okay? So I'm not going to say that there's a conspiracy theory on like, oh, well, they let Tank win. This is a screw job. Well, you can think what you want. Boxing is the most corrupt sport in sports. So it wouldn't surprise me if, their golden goose in that promotion is trying to, squeak by a win. But all in all, usually how rematches go, if there will be a rematch, there's a rematch clause. So I'm guessing there will be a rematch later on down the road. I think in the rematch, Tank still beats Roach. I mean, Roach had a great night, an amazing night, right? And to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. I think he did, but Tank's not going to play with him this go around. I think, a lot of boxers that reach this level, they kind of squeak by, take it easy. They don't wake up to, get excited to fight Lamont Roach if you're in Tank's position. It just doesn't happen. And I mean, I don't know Tank personally, but I think these past like 3 or 4 fights, after Ryan Garcia, Tank really doesn't look like he's taking boxing that serious, if you know what I mean. Coming out of the Floyd camp, that's one thing that you can never say about Floyd, right? Floyd, to this day, is probably one of the hardest working boxers in the sport. You can say, he is a cocky, arrogant, trash talking, unworthy champion of a fighter. And you may be right in that. But one thing you cannot question is his work ethic. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. If he goes out and parties, he's running home. Like, he's still in the gym till this day, staying active. And Floyd never made an excuse. He's never been knocked down. He's one of the greatest defensive fighters, probably of all time. And he took the sport seriously. I don't see Tank taking the sport serious. I don't. And I think it was a detriment to him on not having Floyd in his camp. Now, whatever the behind the scenes issues were with them two, that's between them. But I just don't see how you come from that camp, right? You come from the Floyd tree. And it just doesn't look like he's trying. It doesn't look like he's interested. He doesn't look like he's invested. And I don't know. But if the rematch happens, I do see maybe this will be the wake-up call for Tank. And if the rematch doesn't happen his next fight, I don't know if he's got a guarantee win against Shakur. I don't see it. Because one thing about Shakur, he'll wake up for that fight. He'll take that fight serious. He's going to give Tank a long night. You ain't going to knock out Shakur. Shakur's going to pick his shots. Tank's really the aggressor, the bully, and fighters that fight like Shakur, which he came from the Bud camp, they want you to bring the fight so they can pick you apart. So, I don't know. I don't know what Tank's next move is. I don't know how this draw will, possibly be removed and have Tank take his first loss. I don't know, but we will see. I'm very interested to see, where the Lamont Roach camp takes this. Are they going to appeal? I would. You ain't got nothing to lose, but, you got the rematch clause in there for a reason. If you feel like you can beat him again, go get him again. Simple as that. But I think this second fight will draw a lot more eyes because, to be honest with you, I didn't even know Tank was fighting until that week. But, we'll see what happens. We'll stick on boxing. A major announcement happened a couple days ago with Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi Arabian boxing purist, if you will, has made a lot of fights happen, put on a lot of boxing fights, some big fights. He's starting in his own boxing promotion with Dana White. They're like TKO, they're all involved. They bought the WWE. Now they're getting into boxing. Saudi has, started Live, the golf league. So, my personal opinion on this, I love it. I think this is going to start a trend to where this is going to be the main, they called it a league, which I like. This is going to be the main boxing league, okay? Now, at first, every new promotion, every new sport, it's going to take time. The UFC took time, back in, the NBA, ABA, the NBA, it needed to take time. But the one interesting thing that Turki Al-Sheikh brought with him is Dana White. And Dana runs the UFC beautifully, right? There's no multiple belts. There's no multiple promotions. It is one boss, one person making the fights. Here's a date. Here's a location. Be ready by Saturday. That's perfect. That's what you need. You need one promoter, one belt, and whoever's at the top, that's who you fight. I love it. Now, I'm not gonna get into, the sports washing that I don't care. I don't know much about it. I'm here for the sports. Okay? I'm here for boxing. Whatever's gonna make boxing better, I'm cool with it. Listen, it was a super big deal when, Saudi got involved in golf, right? And they started poaching players. The PGA said these players aren't allowed to play in any of the PGA Tour events. They're not allowed to play in, the PGA Tour Championship, which is a major championship, by the way. They were only allowed to play in the Masters, the US Open, the British Open, and that's it. Well, it took like, a year and a half, 2 years. Now they're all back in good graces. Money talks. Simple as that. Saudi's got money. Lots of money. Boxers love money. They don't care about championships. They don't care about being undisputed. They don't care about their brand. They don't care about wins and losses. They care about money. And boxing pays a lot of money. So if you get a guy who has unlimited pockets to make a boxing promotion, a boxing league that doesn't pay fight by fight, it's probably going to be like multi-fight deals that you're going to get. I'm in. Whatever makes the sport better, if this is what it takes, I'm cool with it. Because what we see now with the top rank promoters, the Matchroom promoters, the Golden Boy promoters, the Mayweather, there's so many people that you have to go through to get a fight done. So many people. Earl Spence and Bud Crawford took like 3 to 4 years before it happened because they couldn't get the promoters to agree. I heard a story the other day. The reason why Floyd and Pacquiao happened is because they seen each other at a basketball game, had a 15-minute conversation, and the fight happened in 3 months. If this is what it takes, right? Because the other promoters didn't do jack shit with it. The sport is going down the drain. It's not the best combat sport in the world like it used to be. But if this is what it takes, I'm in. I want to see big fights. I want to see no ducking. I want to see championships that matter. I want to see legacies on the line. Like, I want to see all this shit. All of it. If this is what it takes to get Canelo Crawford, I'm cool with it. I don't care about your sports washing. I really don't. I don't. Because if you didn't care about it in golf now, no one's talking about golf anymore. How they literally bought players. They threw hundreds of millions of dollars at these players, and y'all had something to say about it when it happened, and it is quiet now. I don't want to hear shit about boxing. I don't want to hear a damn thing about boxing. So, yeah, I'm excited. They said September 12th, there's going to be a big announcement. I'm guessing it's Crawford and Canelo. But, I mean, the way now that Dana's a part of it, even the main cards and the undercards are going to be nasty, nasty fights. They're going to be amazing fights. They're going to be, the flow of it is probably going to be better, because the thing about boxing, watching a boxing fight is so annoying. Like, it's a whole day for a 4-fight card. Unnecessary shit happens. The intros are too fucking long. There's people doing like podcasting and interviews, post-fight, waiting for the other one, gotta get the costumes on, gotta do this, gotta do that. UFC, it's bam, 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 have a good night. That's what we need. You need to shorten up the production on the boxing fights when they're 12-round fights. They're long fights. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get to the main card. I don't want to stay up till midnight to watch the main event. So hopefully this does good. Hopefully we get better fights out of this. As a boxing fan, I'm all for it. Whatever it takes, I don't care. Just give me the fights that everybody wants and we'll be good. So that's boxing. Okay. I think last night the Lakers and the Knicks went at it. You know, Lakers won. You know, Lakers are second in the West right now. Like I told you, it's going to work. But the main attraction on that whole game was halftime. LeBron walks up to Stephen A. Smith, addresses him, looks a little mean, looks a little agitated, angry, walks off. Now, lip readers are saying that he told Stephen A. to keep my name and my son's name out your mouth. Okay? And right now it's Friday at 10. I don't know if they talked about it on First Take yet. But my take on that is this, okay? I got two sides of this, right? It's, you know, to LeBron's side, yes, check Stephen A. Smith every time you see him. You have every right to do that. Every right. Stephen A. Smith has constantly just bashed not just LeBron, just NBA players in general for on-court performance and just trying to compare to Michael Jordan. It's a known thing. It's ESPN. That's what they do. Okay? That's how this whole sports debate thing started, right? And like Stephen A., Skip, fucking whoever else is on that panel, they just bash players. Okay? This is what they do. That's how they get paid. So LeBron has every single right to go up to Stephen A. Smith and said, keep my name and my son's name out your fucking mouth. Every right in the book. I'm glad he did it because they think they're untouchable. They think I'm getting paid multi-million dollars to say my opinion. You shouldn't be offended because it's my opinion. No. If I don't like what you say, on a day-to-day basis, by the way, I have every right to come and check you. Right? Now, the devil's advocate here towards Stephen A. Smith. LeBron comes up to you and says, keep my name and my son's name out your mouth. And if I'm Stephen A. Smith, no, nigga. No. No. I will not keep your name and your son's name out of my mouth because this is what comes with being the face of the league. You're the chosen one. You are labeled the greatest of all time. You are not free of criticism. No one is. Not you, not your son, and not Bryce when he comes into the league. You are the one who put him on the Lakers. You did that. You did that. So if Molly comes up to me and says, the Lakers had this amount of points against the Knicks, LeBron James, the first 40-year-old to score 27 points and 10 assists with his left shoe untied. Stephen A., what do you think about that? I can't speak on it. LeBron told me not to. Nigga, what? No. You are going to get these takes. You are going to get these criticisms like everybody else because ESPN is paying me to do so. Welcome to the league. You knew this. And you knew that your son was going to get criticized. Okay? Listen, as a podcaster, for example, let's say, I hope this doesn't happen, but let's say Drake just walks by me at a Walmart in Lincoln, Nebraska. That'd be crazy. But let's say Drake just walks by me in a Walmart. He notices that, oh, that's Dion from Free Game. He talks a lot of shit. He's a Kendrick fan. And he checks me. He has every right to do so. He has every right to check me. And I have every right to tell him, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I'm still going to talk about you. Don't watch the pod. Don't watch First Take. Stay off your phone. This is the part of freedom of speech that everybody needs to understand. Freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want. Okay? You can go on ESPN and you can say LeBron's hairline is shitty. You have every right to do so. But that person has every right to feel a way and address you about the comment that you made. That's also freedom of speech. LeBron, you cannot have it both ways. And Stephen A., you can't have it both ways neither. And I think both of them know that. And there's really no winner or loser in this situation. I just think it's funny. And I'm very interested to see where everybody's going to take this. A few people are saying, congrats, LeBron. You finally got Stephen A. And then other people are saying, LeBron's a bitch. I mean, that's what they're saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I can see both sides. As a podcaster myself, this is the gig. The gig is the fucking gig. Okay? You speak your opinion about something, you're gonna get criticized for it. Period. You know how many times that I've got messages about Kendrick? A lot. It's been a long year. You know how many times I got messages about Steph? A lot. It's just what comes with it. Especially if you are the face of the league still, you're gonna have to deal with criticism. And if you want to check them, that's fine. But that's not going to stop Stephen A. from talking about you or Bronny. Sorry. You don't have enough power to silence ESPN when the Lakers, the Cowboys, and I guess the Warriors, they are the topic points every single day. Get used to it. That's all I got to say on that. But another media personality, if you will, Charles Barkley, went off on Kendrick Perkins, and they're having a beef because Kendrick Perkins is a glazer for LeBron. That's not what he said. That's what I'm saying. Because he is a glazer for LeBron. And he also threw shots at ESPN, which is funny because he's probably going to be working for ESPN after this NBA season. And then Kendrick Perkins put out a tweet saying, you better have the same energy when I see you. I'm going to address you like the numbers on the house, like his typical Kendrick Perkins country style shit. Just, I don't know. It's just all talk. This is a fucking mess. Like, this is where media has gone. Okay? Everybody's soft. No one is able to take criticism for anything. And everybody has a platform to voice it on. If Kendrick Perkins had a podcast right now, okay, and he made one addressing Charles Barkley, how much views do you think he'd get? A lot. If LeBron had a podcast, because Stephen A is probably going to talk about it on his podcast, for sure. He doesn't say what you want about Stephen A. Like, Stephen A is still one of the greatest, like, ESPN hosts of all time. Like, he's him. You can say whatever you want about him. He's still Stephen A. Smith. He's definitely going to address this. If it's not on First Take, it's definitely going to be on his podcast because it's more unfiltered. But if LeBron had a podcast and he just had a thumbnail and a title, I address Stephen A. Smith, that shit would go bananas. Beef and controversy sells. Simple as that. Everybody's got a platform now. Everybody's going to say whatever they want to say. It's all mumbo jumbo. I don't see anybody fighting over what they say on their respective networks. I don't. Charles is going to feel the way he wants to feel. Kendrick is going to feel the way he wants to feel. That's kind of the vibe I get from Big Perk. But I think it's just all just a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know. Speaking of podcasts, Paul George, I think last week, said that he is going to retire as a podcaster to focus on winning a championship. I said this earlier in a video before the season. I didn't like the move anyway with Paul George going to Philly. I thought it was dumb. I thought, why would you go from one injury-prone superstar in Kawhi Leonard to another injury-prone superstar in Joel Embiid? Lo and behold, Joel Embiid is out for the season. And now, the reason why you're playing bad is because you're not focused enough on a podcast. As a podcaster, I will defend Paul George for a little bit here. I think the reason why he's getting bashed a lot by mainstream media about this comment, now you shouldn't have said anything. Like, you should have just stopped doing it and just hoop. You don't have to make it public. You could have went about it a different way, but it's you. I'm pretty sure he's got a few listeners and, ad deals and shit like that, podcaster stuff. So he probably had to make it known so that his listeners, like, wait, where's Paul George? I understand that part. Here's where I'll defend podcasters. The reason why Paul George is getting a lot of hate from mainstream media is because he has his own voice. Like a lot of players who have podcasts. Draymond Green has a podcast. They're 6th in the West. The Villanova boys, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, they got podcasts. They're doing pretty good as well in the East. So it's not everybody who is doing a podcast and has a shitty record. It's not it. But the reason why they hate it is because the players aren't supposed to have a voice. You're supposed to leave that to ESPN and Fox to tell you how they think you feel. And they can go at these respected networks on their own platform. And so it causes a lot of drama, controversy, and anger. Draymond calls out everybody on his podcast. He even called out Stephen A one time. And, they pieced it up and respected each other. But the media doesn't like when the players use their media platform as their media. Yeah, they can talk to the media, but what good is the media when you can go home after the game, after watching film, after doing, therapy and icing your knees, and tell what you actually feel about the game, what you actually feel about the team, what you actually feel about the coaches. What good is the media? You know what I mean? And this is free. Now, like I said, with the freedom of speech thing, everything comes with a consequence eventually, there's some things in your contract by law in the NBA. You are supposed to talk to the media. If you don't, you're fined. But let's say I'm at a podium and somebody asks me, oh, you had a bad game. You shot 3 for 20 from 3. What's your take on the game? Oh, we just lost. That's it. And then I go home to the podcast and then I just absolutely give way more information than I did in the media. Yeah. From a player's perspective, that's what I would want to do because I control my own narrative. You're not allowed to spin it, my words when it's coming out of my mouth on my own platform in front of my fan base that are loyal to me, that will listen to me. Yeah, what good is the media? So, all in all, I think Paul George should have just kept it quiet. Don't do the pod. Hoop. But what good is that now when the team is sorry? Joel's out. At this point, I would just tank for a good draft pick. Honestly, look at the Spurs. They took out Wemby. I hope Coach Popovich is doing all right, but they have a potential to get Cooper Flag. Crazy. But that's it on basketball for now. The Warriors are, I think, 10-1, 10-2. Just a little Warriors news. We're coming. Pause. But I guess we'll get into some Drake news. I didn't want to talk about Drake, but he settled with iHeart from the lawsuit, allegedly. Basically what iHeart said is, I'm not reading it. This is just all like fluff. Pretty much Drake's dropping the lawsuit because iHeart said, we'll give you all the information. We'll give you the papers. We'll give you the numbers. We'll give you the fine print. Just drop the lawsuit. Just so we can show you that we did nothing wrong. And that's why the lawsuit was dropped. Drake didn't get any money. Drake didn't get a, under the table deal. It was literally just, look, we've done nothing wrong. We didn't boost Not Like Us. We didn't have payola. This was just genuine. And that's gotta hurt for Drake because he's just throwing all this shit at the wall just to see if something sticks. There's gotta be something up. And he's gonna come to find out, no. The people just fuck with Kendrick more in this battle. And that's it. That's it. But for the first time in a while, I'm going to defend Drake. Okay? Because the Oscars happened. I didn't watch. I just heard what Conan O'Brien said. And listen. Oh, man. Pretty much he said, we're halfway through the show. This is the part of the show where Kendrick comes and calls Drake a PDF. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it on YouTube. I'm not going to even work on that editing. Got enough to do already. The reason why I'm defending Drake is, listen, that joke was funny. It's cool, but goddamn, this is overboard now. You guys are doing too much. You're doing too much. At the Oscars, really? Here's how I see it, okay? Does Drake deserve to get shit on for adding lawsuits to a rap battle, getting demolished and the way he's taking it? Yes. But when is enough, though? When's enough? Honestly. You got SNL skits about this shit. You got comedians going on these award shows, cracking jokes. And listen, it was a great joke, but fuck, this is getting out of hand. Now, you're going to make me want to root for the heel. You're going to make me want to root for villain Drake. I don't want to do it. I mean, I do because I want the beef to, continue, but I'm just why? Why does hip hop have to be included in, a backhanded joke towards another rapper? Granted, this is the biggest beef of all time and it's making Kendrick look even better, but some people got to shut the fuck up. Some people just have to shut up and not speak on rap. Okay? Now, I get it. Conan didn't write that joke. It was another writer. It was a great joke. If it would have happened before the Super Bowl. If it would have happened before this year. Now it's just, it's going overboard. The only person that should be talking is Kendrick. And Kendrick's at UCLA taking psychology classes in public. He still hasn't said a fucking word. He hasn't said a word. I don't know. I'm just from that school where once you do stuff too much and you talk about something for too long, it just gets oversaturated and it just gets corny. This shit is corny. Honestly. I hope Drake comes back with this solo album and murders all you niggas except for Kendrick. All you niggas. I want hip-hop Drake back. I said it. If he comes out with a solo album and disses everybody but Kendrick, I'm on his fucking side. There. I said it. That's the only way he's going to get back into the good graces of hip-hop fans. The same thing with J. Cole. Where's the fall off? Drake, when is this solo album coming? And what is it about? Because if it's about you reflecting on life, I don't want to hear it. I want hardcore fucking raps. I want you going at people's throats. Everybody who talks shit about you, they gotta have a song. This needs to be a diss album. That's the only way you can come back from this. Because this lawsuit looks crazy. They're making you look crazy. You're at a club by yourself gambling. You look nuts, my nigga. You need this album, this solo album needs to be one of them. Like, Take Care. It needs to be one of them. Because I'm not going to lie to you, the numbers on this Party Next Door album is not looking good. GNX is still at the top. That shit came out last year. I don't know. I don't know what Drake's next move will be. I don't know how this next album is going to come out. But I'm watching. Every Friday morning I'm looking just to see if there's a single, if there's an album. I'm looking for the big three to be popping out. I guess I'll just be waiting. But yeah, this is a short little pod. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I wanted to save the last part for this. Earlier this week, I lost a friend. Rest in peace, Brock Alexander, one of my best friends in middle school. Took me by shock, and shit sucks. Like, I still can't believe it. There's a lot of mixed emotions about myself. There's a lot of mixed emotions about how I could have talked to him more. You know, I'm not the person to screenshot and post, our messages on social media and prove a point. And I don't want to make it about myself. I want to make it about, the families, the mother of his child, his daughter, his mom, his dad, his brother, his close friends. And I think the moral of the story is I want to tell everyone, don't be afraid to reach out. I think that's the biggest thing in this, because life is short. Check up on your friends. Mental health is real. People are going through shit. This is a hard life we're living in. And I get it, everybody thinks everyone's busy. People got jobs, people got families, people got kids. Shit, I got both. But my number hasn't changed since middle school. Right? And it goes both ways. I need to be better at reaching out to my friends. I need to be better at, just catching up. It ain't like we ain't got nothing to talk about. It's been 10, 15 years. Y'all got everything to talk about. But, yeah, that one was hard. That one was hard dealing with that. We all just got to check up on each other. Reach out. Even if it's for 5 minutes, even if it's a text, just reach out, because you never know what anyone's going through. And that can be the main thing that can help them out. Simple as that. I had a great conversation with, my boy Keenan. He was on the pod. We talked for like 30 minutes just about that moment, about how we need to reach out to people more. And as you see, I'm very accessible. I'm on the internet. Not hard to find. But yeah, rest in peace to Brock. I'm gonna miss you, man. Prayers go out to the family. Prayers go out to the mother's child. Prayers go out to the daughter. And yeah, check up on your friends, man, because you never know, they might need a conversation from you specifically. But that is going to be it. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you comment down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, I'm out.